All right, so we're here with another installment of Stupidity in the Gamesphere. Um, and this might be a little bit of a simple soliloquy. Basically, we're going to be talking about money, lies, and tries. So we're going to be talking about people doing some incredibly stupid things, people being made the fall guys, and a lot of other stuff. So with that being said, let's get to it. So I guess we'll get to the big news, one of the big corporate news today, which is Patrick Sutherland is leaving EA, probably because, to spend more time with his family. Now, before you feel too bad about him, I mean, the guy he basically made $46 million for EA last year. And he's getting a nice little cash bonus of like 25 million plus stock options, so it's probably going to be more than that. So he's going to be fine. All right. What I'm here to talk about is why Patrick Sutherland is leaving. It's not what people think. They always say, well, to spend more time with my family, or some shit like that, to move on to other opportunities. Here's why Patrick Sutherland is leaving. Basically, it's because he's the fall guy for the Star Wars Battlefront 2 debacle. Okay, because someone had to take the hit, and it's going to be Patrick Sutherland. Even though, he was basically just doing what his boss told him to do. Like if you work for someone and they tell you to do X, Y, or Z, and you're getting paid for something, then you got to do it. That's just the way it is. So, I mean, it's not necessarily cool to basically put it all on one guy. But, I mean, we are talking essentially people who don't give a shit and don't care. So, yeah. Patrick Sutherland's got to take that hit for everybody else. And, that's just the way it's gotta be. How do I feel about it? I really don't care, because when I heard EA was making Star Wars Battlefront, I was like, yeah, this is gonna be some bullshit. Because, I mean, when has EA had a licensed product that they haven't fucked up? Except for maybe The Godfather. But the first game was pretty good. The second one kind of sucked. Because it had online features, and it was like, I just want a single player GTA clone set in the Godfather universe. Why is there online multiplayer? But that's neither here nor there. So Patrick Sutherland got paid, got out. That's a pretty smart move. So we'll move on to the next little bit of news, which is Filip Muicin. Can't stop, won't stop. So this is a little bit of news. This is about Filip Muicin, which I thought we would be done, but apparently, I said this in my podcast Sunday, BS Busters, where typically speaking, when people do things like this, this is something that's been going on for a while, and it's just like when they get away with it once, they keep on doing it. Especially when it comes to plagiarism, stuff like that. It's never just, I just plagiarized one thing. They've plagiarized a lot of stuff. And I'll be damned if that isn't the case with Filip Muicin. He's been caught doing it yet again. On a whole bunch of other things. I will leave a link in the description field. And we'll talk about it. He basically not only did he plagiarize other people's work, but he also just straight up copied shit from Wikipedia. So, he did not give any fucks about anything. So yeah, Filip Muicin got caught yet again, and I mean, I don't know what else to say except, man, Phil, you can't stop fucking up, can you? But that's neither here nor there. Let's get to My thoughts on it. I mean, IGN did what they had to do. Because I mean, the thing is like you cannot be taken seriously in journalism, whether it be sports journalism, media journalism, any of that type of journalism. You can't be taken seriously if you're lying, right? Like you look at, remember Brian Williams, who it turned out that he like made up stories about him being on a helicopter and being shot at, and it's like it was plainly seen that that was not the case. Or Philip Glass, or forget the guy's first name. Michael Glass. Michael Glass, the guy who made up all those stories about various things a few years ago in the mid 2000s, where he basically made up all these things, and he got in trouble because like they could never corroborate what he was saying. Well, I mean, that's basically the same thing we have going on here, except Filip Muicin was just, I mean, you know, wholesale copying and using Wikipedia as a source, which is really stupid because it's easily verifiable when you do stuff like that. But that's neither here nor there. So give me your thoughts on people plagiarizing, taking people's work and passing it off as their own. So with that being said, we'll move on to the third part of this video, which is the tries portion, where it's going to be a little bit of an editorial piece from me after the cut. Okay then, so this is just a little kind of editorial, and it's basically about how when you buy a game, it's essentially like you're taking a chance, right? Like the only thing you can go by is either reviews or your own gut. And a lot of people don't listen to reviews when they buy games. And then if the game turns out to be shit, they're like, well, that was on me. I will look at reviews for a game because, I mean, even though I make money now and all that type of stuff, gaming is still kind of an expensive hobby. You know, you're spending between $30 and $40 on a game, and you should be allowed to. When you're spending that type of money on some shit, you know, you don't want it to be kind of, you don't want to be in a situation where you don't think you're going to get your money's worth. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, even with that, you know, reviews are subjective, you know, and not every reviewer has the same thing. For example, there are games that were actually reviewed well that I think are not very good, like Breath of the Wild. I know I gave Breath of the Wild a favorable review, but I mean, you know, looking at it, you know, in hindsight, the game has some issues that kind of bring it down a bit, but no one ever talks about that. You know what I'm saying? And the same way that that's going on is the same way, you know, you can look at a lot of things. You know, at the end of the day, when you're doing a review, everything is based on how you feel about it, you know, subjective. And when you play a game, I mean, there's a chance that it might suck. There's a chance it might be good. You don't know. It could go either way. Well, where do you go from there? You know, how do things pan out? So with that being said, I've decided to give some tips for how to deal with a game that you spent good money on not being what it was cracked up to be. So, you know, you can trade it in, try and get some of your money back. That's always a good one. You can, sell it on the whatever market you can get your hand put it in. You can deal with that kind of epic failure in some more humorous ways, like get drunk, go smoke some weed. I don't know. Go get laid. I don't know. it's a difficult prospect. I mean, me personally, the best way I've discovered to deal with games is, a lot of games I get on, if I'm unsure about it, I get on Steam, because Steam has a return policy. If a game isn't what you want, you can return that shit, which is amazing. If a game has a demo, play that first, so then you can you can see if it actually, fits what you want. Because the only thing worse than playing a game is playing a game that just doesn't do what you want it to do. And that's not cool. So, I guess we'll move on to the final topic after the cut. So, here we go with the final topic, which is basically just about how some people deal with frustration in video games. I've seen people get legitimately, destroy controllers, destroy their system. I've seen people snap discs in half. One thing I like about Nintendo is that their systems have always been pretty sturdy. I mean, you could snap a GameCube disc in half, and a Wii disc in half, and a Wii U disc in half, but during the cartridge days, it's really hard to destroy stuff like that. So I appreciate that. So, I think people should not take these things too seriously. Because at the end of the day, we're just playing a game. It's not meant to be, insane. It's meant to be taken, not seriously. At the end of the day, we're trying to have fun. And that's it. Just fun. If you can't deal with that, then go someplace else. So, with that being said, we'll get to the final topic after the cut and call it a day. Or, not the final topic, conclusion after the cut and call it a day. Alright, so it's time to conclude everything. Basically, the rich got richer. Patrick Sutherland, despite basically being fired, got a huge payout, so he's going to be fine. Even though they made him the fall guy for someone else's fuck-ups. Filip Muicin is, he made the cardinal mistake on the internet. Don't threaten people on the internet, especially when you've been uploading things. Because once shit's been uploaded, it's there forever. Never put your fuck-ups in written form, because basically everyone's going to know what you did. And Filip Muicin just couldn't seem to understand that simple fact. But hey, a lot of dumb people in this world. So Filip Muicin got caught with his pants with his pants down, and there's evidence of him doing other fucked up shit. So, I mean, sucks to be that guy. We talked about some general gaming, how to basically, how you should, some general tips on how to basically not get screwed over when buying games, how to handle disappointment and frustration in games. Let's see, what else? What else do we have coming up? This Saturday, we have another Sci-Fi Power Hour-ish. But it's going to be a little special. We're going to be talking about D&D. So and other tabletop games. So if you're into D&D and tabletop games, this will be for you. All right. And we'll also talk about some of the sci-fi news of the week. Like, for example, Ruby Rose casting a lesbian to play a lesbian, and some people got angry about that. And Ruby Rose playing Batwoman. Some shit like that. I can't remember what that is. And of course, we'll do BS Busters, where we'll be adding a new feature, 2-minute reviews, where we will be talking about games that, need a 2-minute review. It'll be timed out, and you have 2 minutes to review something, and it may or may not succeed. So, look forward to that. we'll try it out, see what's going on. Remember, give me your comments, questions, concerns, blah, 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 and we'll attempt to have a dialogue about it. So thank you and have a good day.